Hello, everybody. My name is Alex Kosios. Welcome to my final project presentation, A Christian Framework for Aviation Professional Life. You will have to excuse me due to life and global events at the moment. I do not have access to my personal laptop, so I will not be able to show my face, but you will be able to hear my beautiful voice. So let's get started. Christian worldview and ethics. God is the final authority. Humans bear the image of God with imminent dignity. Sinful nature makes us all susceptible to ethical failure. Truth is grounded in God's unchanging character. That's the foundation. Ethics as formation, relativism, and egoism are inadequate foundations. Ethics shape who we are, not just what we do. Right actions flow from a transformed heart. Adopt the mindset of Christ, as stated in Philippians 2:5. To understand how I make decisions, you first have to understand my foundation. My ethics are not based on cultural trends or personal convenience, but on the belief that God is the final authority. Humans are created in the image of God. Every person I interact with, from passenger to junior starting off mechanic, possesses inherent dignity. I also acknowledge our sinful nature. We are human. So in aviation, this can mean recognizing that we are all susceptible to ethical shortcuts or prideful failures. I can speak personally on that. As Steve Wilkins notes in his 2011 work, no ethical theory works without a coherent account of human nature. I view ethics as formation. It's not just about doing the right thing to avoid a fine. It's about being a person of character, through the mindset of Christ, of course. Personal life, vision, and mission. To glorify God by living with integrity, serving others, and faithful stewardship of all resources and opportunities entrusted to me. The mission, to be an aviation professional of impeccable character, demonstrating that safety, excellence, and Christian values are mutually reinforcing priorities, not competing ones. My life's vision is to glorify God through integrity and faithful stewardship. And of course, this flows into my professional mission to be an aviation professional of hopefully one day perfect character. In our industry, we often talk about safety first. My mission statement argues that safety, excellence, and Christian values aren't competing priorities. You don't have to choose between being a good person and being a good pilot. In fact, I believe my faith makes me a better mechanic because it demands a level of excellence that goes beyond what a manual would require. If that makes sense, sometimes for anybody who's ever worked on an aircraft knows that the manual is not always right. Even though you should follow it to a T, it is sometimes not right. Christian ethics and personal life. Stated in Acts 5, 1 through 11, Ananias and Sapphira. You have not lied just to human beings, but to God. Integrity demands consistency. Ethics cannot be compartmentalized. The same moral standard must apply in family, community, and professional life, not just in one sphere. Spiritual preparation is essential. One cannot respond widely to an ethical storm if spiritually unprepared. As stated in Roof 2024, we must prepare ourselves spiritually for ethical challenges before they arrive. No hidden agendas. Ananias and Sapphira's deception, pretending to give all while withholding, reminds us that any dishonesty has a theological dimension, not just a social one. Next slide. Christian ethics in professional aviation. Safety, obviously, equals moral obligation. Lives depend on accurate reporting. Any negligence neglecting safety duties is not just a regulatory failure. It is a failure to love one's neighbor. Non-negotiable boundaries. As stated in Roof 2024, some ethical lines cannot be crossed under organizational pressure. Be a difference maker. Be different. And I can speak on that one personally. It just really happened to me. We had an aircraft with a bald tire. It was bad by any metric. you can find in black and white, but our manager wanted us to make the flight and pushed back, but I had to stand my ground. I'm probably not on the best sights of my manager at the moment, but I cannot consciously let that fly. Fair treatment and transparency. Christian ethics demand fair treatment of colleagues, transparent communication, and excellence as an act of worship, beyond compliance. True Christian professionalism pursues not mere compliance, but genuine significance, which has lasting positive impact on people. In the professional sphere, safety is a moral obligation. If I skip a pre flight or pencil whip a maintenance log, I'm failing to love my neighbor, the passengers, and the crew whose lives depend on my honesty. I've adopted a non negotiable stance, following Dr. Roof's advice, as I just stated my personal experience within the day, with this week actually. A difference maker who refuses to cross. I'm a difference maker who refuses to cross ethical lines, even under organizational pressure, to move faster or cut costs. True significance in this field isn't just about moving a plane from A to B. It's about about a lasting positive impact we have on our colleagues and the culture of our company. Ethical decision making process. Steps 1 through 4: prayer and self examination. I do that every day. Begin with honest self-examination. Is a concern driven by principle or ego? As stated in Roof 2024, check your own motives first. Apply multiple ethical lenses. Deontology. It is universally right. Utilitarianism. Consequences for all. Virtue. Ethics. What would a person of godly character do? Seek wise counsel. As stated in Proverbs 15:22, consult trusted mentors and colleagues before high-stakes decisions. No one discerns perfect alone. Act with courage and accept consequences. Obedience to principle is not ultimately disadvantageous. Ethics training shapes decision-making under pressure. Influencing organizational culture. How I will lead. With model integrity, consistently and not just when it's easy. Address failures openly. Do not hide them. That's something I did struggle with in the beginning, addressing my own failures, because just like any other young mechanic, I thought I was the best on the planet. Refuse to overlook small ethic breaches, the slippery slope. Yep, and you deal with that on the field a lot. Reward honest disclosure. Make it safe to speak. That is something that is still changing in this industry. Like I mentioned about with my story earlier, my manager was not too happy. Wasn't, the most professional manner in which we discussed it, but it had to get done. Become known for fairness, so others ask about its source. In Rundle 2004, organizations have the potential to do considerable harm or considerable good. Whether I am the first officer or the flight department manager, I plan to influence my organization by modeling integrity when it's hard, not just when it's easy. I want to create a culture where we refuse to overlook small breaches, because as Dr. Roof warns, those are the start of a slippery slope. By rewarding honest disclosure and making it safe for others to speak up about errors, I can, in turn, help an organization into a force for good rather than a source for harm. Ethics as daily commitment. God is the source of all truth. Ethics flow from his character, not cultural consensus. All human beings have dignity and worth, and this principle governs every professional relationship. Christian character and professional competence are mutually supportive, not mutually exclusive. When ethics is anchored in Scripture, sustained through disciplines, and expressed in culture, it becomes influence. And here are my references. And just want to go back to my conclusion right there. I just want to conclude by saying my ethics are anchored in Scripture. I believe that God is the source of truth, and because every human has dignity, I am called to a standard of excellence that reflects his character. Christian character and professional competence aren't just compatible, they are mutually supportive. Once again, I'm sorry you weren't able to see my face. Uh, Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching this presentation. I hope you all have a blessed day. Thank you so much.